The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 12 locally owned dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group, offering Buick, GMC, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan. Check out all the selection at any location online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We begin this week in Newark, where one of the area's best baseball players is finishing up his senior season before heading to D1 Maryland. Here's Paul Gotham.
The five-tool player. When coaches and teammates talk about Ben Cowles, the conversation starts with the skill set the Newark senior brings to the diamond.
And on the field, he's very smooth defensively, and he hits with power. He runs with speed. He's really got the total package, so very fortunate to coach him.
That's the first thing you notice about him is his physical frame. I mean, he's got the body of a baseball player. He's got the he's got the height and the size. And then once you see him at shortstop, then you start seeing him throw, and you're like, wow. He's got a little bit of an arm on him, and then you watch him hit, and he's got all the tools. He hits for power. He hits it hard. I don't think I've seen him not hit the ball hard at someone. You know, he usually has good at bats every time he's up. He's just big. I mean, and he hits it hard. I know I already said all that, but I mean, he does. He just you don't want him up with guys on base.
Actually, the first time I saw him hitting BP on, the first practice for ICBL, the power behind his swing, the balls were just going off his bat. I think he hit like 3 or 4 home runs just in BP that first practice, and right there I knew we had someone special.
The success Cowles has had on the field, though, is a direct result of his preparation off the field. He bench presses 260, squats 405, and runs a 6'7" 60 time. In your mind, what sets him apart from other players?
I think it's his work ethic. He's an old school attitude, work ethic type guy. He's a leader by example. He's not a real verbal, outgoing leader with guys, but he's the type of guy that'll come here early and do his tee work and stretch out before the other guys even get here.
His work ethic is really contagious. He's always looking to get those extra reps in. Over the weekends, he'll call me up, let's go hit in the cages, and I say, all right. He just really inspires me to work hard. He's really goal-driven, and I appreciate his drive.
As Ben Cowles' final season here at Newark comes to a close, there are plenty of stories that his current teammates and coaches have about him.
Let's see. Well, I mean, I can tell you one this year. So I was pitching and hung a curveball. Kid takes it right up the middle. I'm like, base hit all day. Somehow jumps, catches it, snags it. 3 outs right there. So, yeah, that's probably the one that reminds me of, who he is and how hard he works.
I can remember specifically first game last year, first at bat, hits one right over that fence, and I was like, wow. I was like, opposite field too, like that takes a tremendous amount of power. I was just like, wow, all right.
I mean, Ben first came up in 8th grade for a tournament in Myrtle Beach. His older brother was on our team, and he was down there anyway. We gave him a uniform, and he actually came in and had a walk-off hit that put us up by 10 on a day, which was a good experience. But he came up as a regular player in 9th grade, and to watch his development from 9th grade to 10th grade to 11th grade to now has been unbelievable. He's just improved so much every year. So
What makes him different is his character. His character is, every day he's going day in, day out, determination to play hard. But on top of that, he's supporting the team. He's the leader of a team, and he wants everyone around him to do well. All he's trying to do is trying to win a game, and that's what shows on and off the field is that he just wants to get better every single day. So.
So it comes as no surprise that when this high school season ends, Cowles will focus upon the next stage in his career that takes him to College Park, where he will join the University of Maryland Terrapins.
Honestly, it still doesn't hit me yet that I'm going to Maryland yet. I don't think it's going to hit me till I actually step on the campus and like around the team and bonding with them. I met most of the guys there. They're all cool kids. I like them a lot, and coaches are awesome there. They're young, and I'm ready to learn what they have to show me. So
he's meant a lot. He's really the most talented player that we've ever had here. I haven't really seen any Division I baseball players, but I knew when I saw Ben, he was different.
For now, Cowles, though, is focused on success with his Newark teammates.
I still want to win sectionals with the team, and hopefully leagues is still in consideration. I mean, Mid-Lake's supposed to lose 2 games, so we got to win, keep winning now, and hopefully they lose, and hopefully we can beat them. So it'll be interesting.
Colburn Park in Newark, this is Paul Gotham with the Vision High School Sports Beat.
We can look forward to hearing more from Ben in the years to come. Well, coming up, Paul is back in studio this time for the Dunkin' Donuts High School Notebook. We've got that and more when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
You have FOMOS, fear of missing out on smoked sausage. But fear not. Dunkin' Smoked Sausage Breakfast Sandwich is here. With a savory smokehouse flavor, it can put an end to FOMOS.
Hello and welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. And as always, we are joined by Paul Gotham from PickandSplinters.com. All right, Paul, what is going on right now on the website, PickandSplinters.com? Tell us what's featured on there right now.
We got the postseason for baseball, which is crazy to think that we are in the sectionals for baseball with everything we've been through with all those scheduling and everything. Red Wings baseball, and that'll take us into coverage of Intercollegiate Baseball League this summer. So we're looking forward to all that.
Now, we were talking a little bit last time about the teams that have risen up to the top. What are some that you really see as being over the past week or so that have really kind of distanced themselves?
If one win can mean a lot, then Pittsford Sutherland had that against McQuaid a week ago Friday. Graham Shield, complete game performance, his first complete game of the season, a 2-hitter against a McQuaid team in which he threw the last 5 innings were no-hit ball. It's easy to forget Sutherland went into the sectionals last year with a record of 11-9 and then eventually went to the state Final Four. At best, they'll be 12-8 this year. They're a team that I think is starting to put it together. Graham Shield, kind of like Max Carver last year. They kind of rode Max Carver along the way. Graham Shield has that ability. The young man's put in a lot of work in the offseason, added a few miles per hour to the fastball, always had a good breaking ball, and he had McQuaid off balance all game that day. Now, full disclosure, McQuaid had only played 1 game in 10 days, so it was kind of a perfect storm. They were a little out of sorts a little bit, and Graham Shield added to that day.
You know, you talk about a team like that has barely above 500 record. It's really talks about the quality of play in this area when a team that good can go to the state Final Four with a record like they had going into the sectionals.
Well, and if you look at it this year, they're playing Monroe County Division III. Pittsford Mendon's a contender, Brockport's a contender. Greece Athena you can't take lightly, and you put Sutherland in that mix. So yeah, there are a lot of potential losses there in that group. And I forgot Canandaigua that scored 97 runs in 7 games. So there is a lot of competition there, and it's not easy to get out of that division. It's not going to be easy to get out of Class A1.
Who else do you see going?
Well, and Fairport started out the season 2-4. They lost their first game in Monroe County Division I, and then they won 9 of their next 11 games. They did end up losing to Webster Thomas on Monday, but all of a sudden that Fairport team, you got Mike Sabatine at the top of the order with Tyler Smith, Tyler Holmes, Omar Rosa. Jake Schuler, not a lot of easy outs at the top of the order with Fairport. Will their pitching hold out? We'll see. Familiar company there for Fairport. I didn't mention them last week in AA, but certainly they're going to be a team that's going to contend in the postseason.
You mentioned pitching, of course. This is the time of year where you get one horse that can carry you, and that could be all it takes, right?
Now, it'll be interesting because the way the sectionals play out this year, you have rounds, the semifinals and the finals are 3 days apart, 2 or 3 days apart. So because of our pitching limits, it will kind of force teams to find a second, third, and maybe even fourth pitcher in order to win the sectionals this year.
All right, it's a great time of year for high school baseball. It's a great time of year for a whole lot of things.
Yeah,
all right, Paul, as always, thanks for joining us. This has been the Dunkin' Donuts High School Notebook. We'll be back with more of the Vision High School Sports Beat right after this. Coming up next, the Wegmans Making the Grade nominee with Kim. And later on, the Pittsford Panthers girls lacrosse team just keeps winning. We've got that story when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back, and thanks for watching the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field.
Making the grade this week is Alyssa Ranowitz, a junior at Churchville Chili. Alyssa's work ethic shines through her athleticism and determination to succeed. She's a member of Churchville's varsity softball team and hopes to extend her career to the collegiate level. She's an outstanding role model to not only her teammates, but the kids that she helps through volunteer work as well. Alyssa is very active in her community and local church. She's a choir member, a youth group member, and a Bible school volunteer. She also works at Total Sports Experience as a party leader part-time. She's volunteered her time at a local 5K run and at youth softball camps during the summer months. When it comes to her schoolwork, Alyssa has completed multiple advanced courses while making high honor roll each quarter and received the President's Award for her good grades. She's been a member of the Foreign Language Honor Society for the last 2 years. Alyssa is already planning to major in occupational therapy when it comes time for college and hopes to perform international service through her studies. Nominated for her dependability and the care that she's shown towards others, this week Alyssa Ranowitz is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. You can send them in to info@classywolf.com. And now here's Dave with the Section 5 Spotlight.
Well, thanks, Kim. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McCardle's in Fairport. Come home to McCardle's. Victor grad T.D. Erlin has set a new NCAA men's lacrosse singles season record for ground balls with 240 for the UAlbany Great Danes. T.D., a sophomore, also set singles season marks for ground balls per game at just over 14 and face-off percentage, where he won 83.4% of his matchups. In other words, statistically speaking, the greatest season ever for a face-off specialist. Rush Henrietta's Lene Tava-Thomas set a new Section 5 record in the 100 meters at the Royal Comet Invitational. Thomas, a senior, ran an 11.66 while winning the event for the third year in a row. She also set a new meet record in the 200. Junior Hunter Potts of Churchville Chili joined the USA Mohawk wrestling team on a trip to Dublin, Ireland, where he went 3-0 to win gold at the Ulster Championships. And finally, congrats to 2010 Victor grad Michelle Prong on her selection to the New York State High School Softball Hall of Fame. Michelle went on to star at Stanford and Virginia Tech and is currently an assistant coach at Lehigh University. Well, up next, the team to beat in girls lacrosse this year. We'll introduce them to you when the Vision High School Sports Beat returns. Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Last year, the Pittsford Girls Lacrosse team went 20-1 and brought home the first state title for Section 5 in Class A ever. That's a tough act to follow, and yet, here are your 2018 Panthers. To call the Panthers a dynasty might be a bit of an understatement. They have made the sectional finals every year since 2010. During that run, they've only lost 2 of those title games, and they've put together a streak of 4 straight Section 5 crowns, and capped last year off with the first state title in the program's history. You could almost say they make the Patriots look like, well, the Bills. It's the type of success that goes much deeper than just the current roster. The roots were established years ago and have spread throughout the program.
We have a culture where the kids want to be successful and they want to work, and they know that if they're not doing that, they're not going to play. And so the culture that we've created is one where every day they're just looking to get better. And we don't talk about winning ever. We talk about playing as good as we can and playing the Pittsford way, and they really buy into that.
Sometimes it's easy to look at this kind of success and figure it comes naturally. But every group that comes up knows it's not the big picture that matters. It's the attention to detail.
I mean, we talk about doing the little things. Running through the line and getting the right hand placement on ground balls. Like, it's just, when you do the little things, you're going to have a great game and a great season.
So we have a different motto every year, and we always focus on the little things. This year our motto is love it. So we have to love doing the little things. We have to love running through the ground balls. We have to love the draws, the clears, the rides. We have to love every aspect of it. So that's what we're focusing on.
Mooney and Messenger are 2 of the key pieces to what has been another great run for the Panthers, even though coming into the year, no one was really sure what to expect.
Because we didn't know what we had when we came in. We graduated a lot of key players last year, so our entire lineup is different one way or another, with the exception of our goalie. People are being asked to do things they hadn't done before. So what makes it fun is watching these kids evolve and develop into the players that they are right now.
We have so much depth, and girls are ready to step up whenever. And even though we had a lot of seniors, we had a ton of people who are returners, and we were just ready to step up and having a great season so far.
Messenger plays a position that doesn't get a lot of attention in lacrosse, goalie. But on this team, it's impossible to overlook.
It's no secret within our team, how important Michelle is to us. She's a 4-year starter. She's played like this since she was a freshman, and she works really well with our defense. And a goalie needs their defense in front of them, and we've always had a strong group that really buys into what we're doing. And right from our attack down to our goalie, everybody buys into our defensive philosophy. But Michelle stands on her head sometimes to stop shots, and she's one of the best.
Hold your space, spread out. Spread out.
Talk about what it's like to have someone that good between the pipes for you.
I don't know. I just love Michelle as a person. She's just the best. But no, when she makes a save, it just gets the defense all motivated. When I get hyped, I'm on attack, but it just motivates our entire team. It's just, I don't know, it's awesome.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure being the goalie, and I'm always ready to make the big plays for my team and try to get the stops when we need them. And I think that's a really important part in winning is, stepping up during the big shots and making that save.
Her ability to make that big save can turn things around, not only motivating her teammates, but also freeing them up to play a style that leads to success at the other end.
Yeah, that lets them play aggressively, and it lets them play without fear. They know they have a greater margin of error, than a lot of other teams do, because Michelle's so solid back there.
Mooney is the leading scorer on the team. As a sophomore, she netted the game winner in the state finals. And her and the rest of this team know, no matter who they are facing, they need to be at their best, because they can be sure their opponent will be.
Make sure you guys attack it.
Come on, defense. Regardless of who we're playing and what their record is, they circle us on their calendar. And it's a big game no matter what, and they're going to bring everything they've got. So no matter who we play, it's a Super Bowl. And our mentality is it's a Super Bowl, and we better bring it, or else we're going to lose that day. And it's true. The lacrosse is so good around here. If you don't play 50 minutes, you're going to lose. With their win last Friday in double overtime over Rush Henrietta, the Panthers ran their win streak
to 27 games. Well, we'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the 12 dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group, for making the high school sports beat possible. I'm Dave Yates. We'll see you next week.